You should stand when you paint, period. Unless you have like a big canvas like that stretched out on the floor. Well, you're still standing, I guess, but you can crawl over it if you want to. But usually you should stand. If you're working on a small portrait, it's going to be on an easel, but we want to get this angle, okay? That 90-degree angle. Also, we want to use our arms. So, most of you, when you paint or draw, you kind of do it backwards. You do details first, and I want you to get out of the practice of being so precise in the beginning. What you want first are the larger shapes. So we're going to do a landscape. I'm going to start it, and it's going to be like what we call an underpainting. This is the painting that you lay down first that has no detail, but it has everything in it except fine detail. And with an underpainting, the one we're going to do, you're not even going to need detail. But we're going to do the underpainting together. Then you can go back after we finish, and you can turn it into an abstract painting if you want to. You can imagine details if you want to, and you'll go back with your small round brush for the details. But I want you to get loose in painting and stop being so tight and tense. And I want you to see, well, I want you to think about layers, or you're going to paint it in layers, and there's a word I'm searching for, but my brain isn't here this morning. But process, that's the key word, process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, whatever. So whenever you decide to make a painting from your sketches, before you even start painting, you should figure out the process that you're going to use to make the painting work. Before you do anything, you're going to think about process. What's going to be my first step, my first color? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Usually, with landscape painting, you want to do the background first, what's furthest away from you. And then you work it up to what's closest to you, okay? And so this is the painting we're going to do. I've been saving this clip for months. It's from a newspaper. It's a perfect example of just using minimal strokes to get a lot of detail. So the first thing we're going to do is, okay, it's like you're walking through the woods and there's like a lot of trees and things, so there's a lot of shadows, right? So we're going from light to dark. You usually paint from light to dark, not from dark to light. So you never start off using black. We're going to use black, but usually you wouldn't use black at all. You would use like dark sienna and dark blue to make a dark color. So okay, let me get my brushes. The first thing you're going to start off with is your large brush. And I'm going to mix a sky color. So we're going to mix the white with the light blue. And for those who aren't used to mixing paint, you just dip the corner of your brush into the blue and you start mixing at the corner of the white. And you mix the blue that you think you want. Then watch what I'm going to do. When I think I have the light blue that I want, it's going to look almost white. Everywhere that I think there's some light blue, like it's like at the top here. See how fast I'm painting? What kind of paper is this? Is this mixed medium paper?
Yeah.
Okay. You notice I'm not painting everything in the background. I could paint the whole background if I wanted to.
Right.
Paint corners. I'll paint it a little darker so you can see the blue. See how fast I'm painting? See how I'm using my entire arm to paint? And just laying in the blue where I think it goes. And then just for the sake of balance, I'm going to put some blue down here just so that some of this light blue is going to show up down here somewhere. Go ahead and do this part. Go ahead, start. Okay, you need some blue.
Oh, which blue? Don't
Now, I don't see the energy. Did you guys see the energy that I was using? Energy, fast, all this.
You're having fun. It's painting.
And they haven't even eaten turkey yet.
That's what you want to mix. You don't go right in the middle of your white.
She don't have blue as well.
Because that will keep you from.
So you're going to have to paint real fast. White. You have a big sheet of paper. Okay.
So you can use this white and lighten your blue up without getting into the middle of it. That's what you want.
Move fast. Everybody's.
Go ahead and start.
I'm trying to get you out of this 10-minute wait that you guys work. There's nothing to think about. Just look at my picture and kind of make it, put the blue sort of where mine is or where you want it. And once you don't have no more paint on your brush, dip the brush in the paint again. Load the brush up.
Put a little bit more white in it, Tracy.
You have to move fast when we're moving fast.
And move really fast. Don't go over the same. Just go to the right.
Don't focus on one area, the whole sheet of paper. Energy, do it with energy. We're doing the underpainting. Mix a lot of paint. You guys should have a lot of paint on your palette. And then when you finish that, clean the brush.
It's a big sheet of paper. Don't be scared of it.
And go like here too.
You can, and the colors can get mixed up. It's okay.
Yeah, that's good. Don't think it's a mistake. You need paint. So you need to move it.
Don't just paint in straight lines.
Yeah, see? You need to move the brush. Move the brush.
Okay, we're about to go to the next thing. The blue that you're painting now, you're not going to hardly see it. It needs to dry, but we're going to keep painting. So patience, let's just close. Here we go. Close these up. So that they don't dry up. Now, tempera paint was one of the first paints invented. It was called egg tempera because they mixed egg white with it. And it was before oil paint. And artists would paint what's called frescoes with those. Those are like murals. They would paint the tempera into plaster. Like, say, if that wall, if I wanted to put a mural on that wall, it would be called a fresco. And they would block out little small areas, kind of like this size, and paint little blocks at a time because the paint dried so fast. So, thus they had to paint fast. So with tempera, you paint fast, okay? You can't really go back into the tempera when it dries because it becomes flaky, totally different than watercolor. So now I want you to dry your brush off. All we're thinking about right now is coverage. All we're thinking about is coverage. We want to cover the paper and we want to make an impression. So, since we're not doing details, we can still use the wide brush. So your brush should be pretty dry, right? This time we're going to learn we're going to hold the brush the proper way so that we can get the proper effect. We're going to hold the brush like this. Yes, that's how we're holding the brush. Turn it upside down. Turn your brush, not your hand. Turn the brush upside down, yes. Okay, so we want our brush to be dry, and you, in your mind, you have to think foliage. We're going to use the dark green, I think. No, we'll use the light green first. We'll use the dark green later. And we're going to use the scumbling technique. Now, I'm actually stirring this paint because this paint is too thin for what I want to do. So as I stir it, the paint begins to dry a little bit and it gets a little bit thick. I want the paint to be thick, not runny. So now I'm thinking leaves, right? So I'm not even looking at the picture. I don't even have to look at the picture at this stage, but I'll look at the picture and I'm just kind of dabbing. You see how I'm dabbing? I'm thinking leaves. There's going to be a little blue left so that you know there's a sky in the background. But I'm thinking trees with 1,000 leaves on it. I'm just dabbing the brush. I'm going to go all the way down to about here. That's like 2/3 of the way. I'm thinking leaves. See how the dry brush makes these little marks there? These little marks? That's what I want. I don't want blotches. Now I keep stirring the paint because I want the paint to be as thick as possible. I'm just going to fill everything in to about down here. And I'm thinking leaves. You could actually go all the way down to the bottom of the page, but I'm going to leave this side open because there's going to be a path there. Thinking leaves and grass. That's what's in my head. But it's background. Go ahead, you can start doing yours now. And keep looking back up at what I've done so that you'll know
Oh, you don't have light.
how to do it.
Now you do.
Do it fast. The brush is dry. Remember, dry brush. We're using what's called the dry brush technique.
Did you steer it well?
We're walking through the woods. It's a forest. So there's a lot of leaves.
Not right now, right?
And you can see the blue of the sky behind the showing through the leaves, shining through the leaves. So I'm thinking large shapes first. Large areas first. Use the brush hairs. Don't just do anything. Use the brush hairs so that you can get an effect. You need the tip of the brush hairs too. You need the tip so that you can get that fuzzy edge to it. You're mainly filling in the white space. Don't clump it all together. Don't clump it all together. It'll look like a heel. It won't look like leaves. It'll look like a mountain. Always paint the whole sheet of paper at the same time. Don't focus on one area. Always paint the entire sheet of paper. Never focus on one area at a time. Never. Not at the end. Not like this. You don't hitting the thread. You want to hit the grip and hit that part.
Tip of it. Press down. You're doing good. Some more up here. You don't want that white on the edge. You want that to be traced all the way to the top. Random marks. You don't want the same kind of marks. Good job.
All through here, all through here, all through there. It shouldn't be all in one clump. From here to here to here to here to here.
We'll just make it one big green.
Remember to leave the area for the path in the bottom, but he has.
Leave this, but focus more on
And
the white
then
area.
you can tell. You might want to put these marks up in here. Try to paint the entire sheet of paper at the same time. Look at mine.
Take your scissors.
Then stop. Use your patience. I want you to notice that some things you have to do fast. Some marks you have to make fast. Some marks you have to make slow. So this light green is the sun shining on the leaves so that we can see the original color. But now we have to paint some shadows on the leaves. And I think we may do the path first. Because we might want to overlap some leaves over the path. And the path is like a curve. You see how mine looks like it's going back to a point? And we're going to paint that path in before we continue with the leaves. You need a lot of marks, that's why you don't go slow. picture.
Think
You guys are doing
just
pictures,
like,
and
and don't
you
go
look
over
at
the
that
same.
name for references.
Just fill this up here too. Like he has it all the way up to the,
I'm using that
yeah,
photograph for my
and
reference.
just leave an area here for the path.
And we only refer to it.
See where he has the path on the bottom?
Trying to make it just like the picture. I'm just referring to it. So whenever you're painting a picture,
She
from
needs
a
more
magazine,
green.
you're not trying to duplicate that photograph. You're just using it as a reference to create your own image. So this is step 2. So remember I said process. Our first step was to paint was the thing that's farthest away from us. Now we're coming up closer to us now. What's called the middle ground. The path is going to start in the middle ground and reach all the way into the foreground, to the closest thing to you. But then we're going to go back in and paint the leaves again, the dark areas of the leaves or the shadows that's on the leaves. So you see how you, sometimes when you guys make a painting, I'll come by and say, well, it has to be logical. There has to be some kind of logic when you look at your picture, some type of logic to it. It needs to resemble, if we're doing realism, it needs to resemble real life. So real life has logic to it. Now you can always go back with the light blues later. You can go back with the light green later to make your picture work. It has to work for you. So each one of these pictures should be different because you're an individual. Okay? Now we're going to paint the path. I need you guys to work faster. Don't think too much. You can overthink things. You can do the same thing in life. You can overthink things. So I'm going to mix a little bit of brown, or you could mix a lot of brown. There's 2 ways you can do this. Okay, let's do it the fun way. First, I'm going to just put the dark brown on, and then I'm going to go back with white and paint over the brown. But I'm going to think about a pathway. So the path is going to go is like this, then it gets wider as it gets to the front. See, now I'm painting with the edge of the brush. See how fast I did that? Go ahead and do that part. I don't care if the paper is showing through. It's okay. I'm going to let it go out this way too. By it gets smaller here, it begins to look like 3-dimensional. See how quick I did that? You do the same thing. Remember, we're using dry brush. The paint is already fluid, very fluid. Next, what I'm going to do, I actually need more white, but I'm going to try to use the white that's already on my palette. My brush is dry. Look at what I'm doing. You guys spend too much time doing this stuff.
Jerry. He needs white.
In the back of the path, I'm just going to let a highlight just put a few marks like that. Took 2 or 3 seconds using the edge of the brush. We're not painting details. It's something that you do quick. Use the edge of the brush. You're making like lines with the edge of the brush. No details. You're not blending, no blending. You just laying these white lines down on top of the pattern. So, everybody look up here for a minute. When I say using the edge of the brush, what I mean is I'm not using this part of the brush or that part. I'm only using this part. Okay, so I can make some lines. I'm not pressing the brush into the paper. And later on, you go back to do your own details. Okay, next, let's go to the next thing. Because I don't want you being hyper-focused. I don't really like this green here, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to mix some, I may mix the green and the brown first and see what that does. I don't like it, so I'm going to mix the brown into the green and see what that does. I'm trying to get a darker green, if I can, without using black. Okay. You see that darker green that I got by mixing the brown into it? But I'm still leaving some of this, because I'm going to need that later maybe. Now what I'm going to do, as a matter of fact, you can use your smaller brush now. Let's see, I need it. Some of you are already using your small brush. Not your round, but your small flat brush. I'll just get a smaller flat. Now I'm beginning to slow down a little bit, since I'm looking at the picture. I'm beginning to slow down a little bit. And what I want to do, see, this is the green that I mixed, the brown and the green. So I just want to show, now I'm using the tip of the brush. I'm not pressing down. I mean, I am pressing down, but I'm thinking leaves now. Matter of fact, you may want to get, you probably should use your round brush to do this. It'll probably be easier. So now I am thinking leaves, right? So I'm just using the tip of the brush. I'm making some leaf-like marks. Kind of like little footballs or something. And this paint is so fluid, you have to keep stirring it. Your brush needs to be dry and not wet. See, each time I dab, I'm thinking that's one leaf. So I'm going to do a lot of those. But I'm not going to do it all over. Now these will begin to take shape a little bit. These can be clumped together a little bit more. Okay, you can go ahead and start doing that. There's a clump of leaves. Wait, watch this before you do this. there's 3 clumps of leaves. I'm gonna do this real fast. There's one here, and one here. And then there's gonna be some over here. So you can get those shapes in if you like. And then just spread it around. Just think about these are the shadows of the leaves where the sun is not hidden.
Don't keep on going over the same. Just
Now I wanted to
make
do
sure
this
that
in
the leaves
acrylic.
are all
It would
scattered.
have been a little bit more fun, but we don't have our tarp down on the floor yet. By the way, there's no class next Saturday. No class next Saturday.
See how he's doing it, and it's kind of a little point. If you want to.
Did you mix some brown into that thing? You might mix in a little bit more because it's turning a little greener.
Marks should be random on your paper. It shouldn't be lined up. It should be in different directions. And then if you line the paper, you can put the brush. There you go.
So this is our third step. Remember, we're talking about process. When you mix the brown with the green, make sure the paint looks green and not brown. You'll probably have 3 different shades of green by doing it this way. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 different shades, which is good. When you finish with this part, we don't want to see any white paper. You can see blue, but no white paper.
Yeah, you need to work on I would use a bigger brush, like this one. Because it's not, if not, it's going to take you forever.
The marks are still fast. We're not doing details. The tip of the brush, the tip of the brush will make the smallest marks. If you press down on the brush, the marks will get wider and larger.
Seek out the white spots and be like, okay, there's one. Make it a game.
Remember, we don't want to see any whites now. And down at the bottom, you can clump it together at the bottom because we're going to do something totally different anyway. No white.
Seek out the white spots. Ooh.
You know what? Green, dark green.
I think they're going to need a small, give everybody a small round brush as
small round?
well. Now we're getting to the place where you can be creative. Keep referring back to my picture. Use my picture as a reference. Your picture won't look exactly like mine, but it will be similar. little bit more light in the middle of the picture. And that's due to the path that we're walking on. Use the tip of the brush for the get small marks. And you can see what you're having issues with or problems with. Let me show you this little part here too. Everybody look at me for a minute. When there's like hardly any paint in your brush, you can do areas like this. When there's not a lot of paint, and that's gonna come off as details. See, I'm just going back over everything. There's no paint in my brush now. But you can get these little small areas that's going to begin to look like details. Just go over the whole picture. I'm using again, the tip of the brush. I am pressing a little bit on the tip, but not the side. I'm not using the sides of the brush. But the little small marks make it look more realistic. It'll show more details. So now you're just filling things in, but you still don't want it to be clunky. You don't want it to feel like clumps of paint. Out of control. You don't want it to look like what you're doing is out of control, like you don't have any control or choices about what you're doing. You're trying to make choices. Well, yeah, like smaller than this one, smaller. It's not So you have to stand back, critique your own picture right now, look at it, and make it work. Just so you need to fill in the white areas. Fill in the white with the greens and whatever. Fill in these areas. And I'm going to stop in a minute and show you these last techniques, and then you're going to finish it with details. We're not doing details yet, but we're getting ready to start doing some details. Now, if your picture looks uniform, if your marks look uniform, then it doesn't look natural. So if you're making the same marks, it's too uniform. You won't find no two leaves that look exactly alike.
Straight line of paint.
He has his sticker. Yes, plants in there. You might just need to stop and let that dry. You need to know when to stop too, by the way. Too much is too much.
You could add some more straight line. No, straight line. Say maybe here. Focus on here a little bit more. This could be the sky, but let's focus on that a little bit more. I'm just looking at constellation.
I think some of you found it hard to put a curve in your path. And why is that? Some of you just paint a straight triangle. There's no curve. See if you can make the path curve. considered underpainting. Everybody say underpainting. Say again. I thought somebody said underpainting. All you're doing is just setting the picture up to paint. You're just setting it up, getting it ready. You're going through a painting process. You're not doing any details until you get ready to, which is going to be last, which I keep preaching, right? You don't start off doing details first. Until you become a master, then you can do it any way you want to. But for now, this is the best way to work. So we have a lot of foliage now, right? Okay, everybody can stop for now because you can go back and finish. But I just want to show you these other two techniques. Now we're going to use black. I'm going to use a small round brush to paint the tree trunks and the limbs. When using a round brush, the point of the brush, when you lift up on the brush, it makes the line thinner. I can't, no matter how much I lift up on this brush, I'm not going to get no thin line because this one happens to be round at the end. So the tree trunks are going to be like different sizes. Say, for instance, there's one that comes down like this. It's best to paint from bottom to top, to paint up, than to paint from top to bottom. So this is the proper way to do it. I'm dragging the brush. I have to turn the brush. Now when the brush is out of paint, I have to load my brush up again with paint. And I'm loading all of the brush up, so I'm twisting the brush. I'm pulling. Now I have to turn the brush over so I can get some more paint. Now I'm lifting up. And I'll never get a real thin line with this brush. But you should with yours. Now I'm going to put another tree trunk here, maybe. I'm not doing any limbs yet, just the trunk. I'll let it stop there. This is random too, as well. Now I'm going to do a large trunk. I want you to see what I'm going to do near the center though. Near this area. I'm going to put several trunks. I need a better brush, but I'll do it with this brush. I want this light to show through here, so I'm putting several tree trunks here. And when I get ready to paint the limbs, I'll see if I can do it with this brush. I will not be able to do what I want to do. But I'm going to just use the tip of the brush, like that. You see, just the tip. I'm lifting the brush up, I'm not pressing the brush down. I want some real thin lines. I would need to get a smaller brush. Now, if you need ideas for the lift, just duplicate what I'm doing. Thank you. Good. It don't even need to be this small. They won't even be able to see that line. Just one like this that has a point. This brush is rounded out. Right, here's a tree trunk that this is in front of everything. And this is going to stretch all the way like that. I'm going to have to repaint it, of course. But I wanted to get this mark there by making one line. It's hard to, but once the line is down, it's easy to trace over it. See, it's easy for me, since it's already there, it's easy for me to fill this in. And I don't have to fill it in all the way either. But when I get another brush, now this one has a tip. This one has a point. This brush has a point. So I can do that kind of stuff now. Pull the brush, pull. Lift the brush up, try to barely touch the paper. Now the more lines you do, the more realistic it's going to look. This is when patience comes into play, okay? This is when you slow down. But the painting is already here. So now I can slow down and take my time, not wondering if I can draw or paint or not. I'm not even concerned about that. Now I can do, like when you start doing little things like this.
Don't go up and then back down. Stay as it goes up. You don't want to take it to the top.
Nobody will see it. I'm the only one who sees some of this stuff. When you're doing it, this is what you spend hours doing, not drawing. You don't spend hours. This is the little stuff. See that little mark? Now think about 100 of those marks on this paper. I get happy about stuff like this. I'm lifting the brush up. I'm not trying to press the brush down unless I want a mark like that. See, there's no paint on the tip of my brush. So I have to put paint on the tip of the brush. Use your brush. See, now I can get a line like this. Everybody come up and look at that line. I want you to see it. Can everybody see that one? Okay. I wear glasses, so I can't see it. You guys are young, so you can see it. There's no way I can see this line from back there where you got it. This is the stuff. I'm going to put some more branch. If I want to put another tree, like this needs to be wider at the bottom, right? Trees are wider at the bottom, so I made it wide. I can put another tree here anywhere I want to. Forget the picture now. Remember, the picture was just reference. Then I can put the branch. The branch is wider when it hits the trunk. Now I can make my own trees. I'm not going to draw the tree all the way down here because there's stuff in front of it. See, this is when you get creative. When you start doing this. Then I'm going to show you another step before you start painting again. I just want to show you both of these steps first. And I want to do the wide, I want to do a wide tree trunk too, to show you that. Because it's always good to have variation. So that's a tree that's close to us. See how I'm turning the brush so I can continue to draw this line? That's all I'm doing is drawing. Now once it's down, I can go over. I want it to be wider. Yeah, I think I want it that wide. So now it has to be wider at the bottom. To get it close to us. And then I want you to see this part too. I'm going to do some more leaves. But this time in black. You can do it in black, or you can mix the black with the dark green, with the green, to make a very dark green. You can do it either way, but it needs to read as black. And then when I do the leaves over that, I can do it like I can do a tree like a Christmas tree right here. But it's in shadow. It's okay that I left this green here. Now when this dries, I can go back over that with some green to just show a few highlights. This is close to you. Now I'm thinking grass. That's why I'm brushing it like this, from top to bottom. Let the green show through. So what I'm doing is creating shadows now. So you can get very creative with this part. I can do these clumps of leaves. I don't want that to be as black, so I'm going to mix it with some green. I'm using my wide brush so that I can do it fast. And then, you know, you have to start thinking logical, because now I'm just creating my own landscape. So I might decide, let's do a few more tree trunks. I can go back to my small brush if I want to. You see, now this is when you're thinking. Some things you can't do until the paint dries. Like for instance, when this dry, I'll probably get some more green, go around the edges. Whenever this dries, to do some highlights. So it's a process, and we're making layers, one thing at a time. Now you can go slow. It makes sense to go slow now. It makes sense to think, you know, should that be there? Now you're just creating your own picture, your own landscape. Any questions? Go to it. Now this probably would take me 2 more hours to finish the way I want it to look. So I'm not going to finish this. But now everybody get the idea? And make it look right. Paint the entire picture at the same time. You work in one little area, then you go to another area and work. So everybody look up here one more time. Just want to show you this before I stop. So now you can use every brush. Any brush. It depends on the job you're trying to do. So if I'm using this little brush, it means I'm doing little details. I might decide to use, now I have my palette in hand. I might decide, can everybody see these little marks I'm making? Back here? I'm going to do the light green here just so you can see it. But this would normally be dry before I do this part, but I'm going to put some white in here so you can see how you can highlight. Paint the entire picture. Now this is what hard for college students to learn. Do you agree? How do you know? He said, But going from up here to down here, that's like a little secret technique. It's not secret. All painters know to do that. But it's secret for kids to know this. You guys are learning stuff that no other children are learning right now. So be thankful.
Introducing the same color in the different areas.
Yes. Say it loud because Olga's getting technical.
Okay, introducing the same color in different areas.
And now you can go on feeling. You can have fun. You don't know what it's going to be until it's finished. Now, I always say the painting will tell you what to do. You can add red to it. If you want more colors, do we have other colors found?
We don't, but I can get you another.
Yeah, you can add, if you want more colors, you can add yellow, red, orange, whatever you want to do.
Purple.
Yeah, purple. Like whenever I paint over this black tree like this, with the green and it turns colors, now it's beginning to build depth. I'm not going to use it. I want them to do it. Yeah, I want them to use it if they want to. You see, can y'all see this area right here? Everybody walk up here and look in this area. Because if you find one area of your painting that works, everybody walk up here close. I want you to walk close. This is how you look at art. When you go to the museum, come on, come on, come on. You can do it. You can do it. So I like this area. So what I would do, that tells me what to do for the rest of the painting. Do this. Then it's going to go pop, you know, and it's going to be wonderful. So when you find something in your painting, it's usually one little area that you did well. Then make the whole painting like that area. So I can do stuff like this. Now there's some leaves in front of the tree, right? This is where the painting is, right here, up close. When you go to the museum, look up close. Go walk up to the painting. People can always tell that I'm an artist or any artist because in the museums worldwide, the artists are doing this. Is that right? We're trying to find those techniques. How did they do that? Also, we can appreciate those techniques too. Not only that, this is where the beauty is. The beauty is up close. It's in the process. See, you guys see how these little marks I'm making now is beginning to change the painting? And they're not real details. It's just like the Impressionists. This is how they painted. So we learn from art history. And it's the brush stroke. If your brush strokes are nice, the painting will be nice. Learn how to control your brush strokes. Okay, you can go back to it now.
Charlie, finished?